All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving straight into an absolute thriller, a classic, edge-of-your-seat moment from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. If you're someone who lives for the high-stakes drama of international knockout football, well, you are in the exact right place. In this explainer, we're breaking down the incredible clash between Australia and Egypt. It was a match that gave us literal chaos, stunning saves, and ultimately, the absolute ultimate test of nerves.
That's how you do it. That's how you win it. They stay in the World Cup. Okay, let's dive into this. That electrifying broadcast call just perfectly captures the raw, unfiltered emotion at the very end of this grueling contest. But, to really appreciate the sheer magnitude of that final roar of victory, we need to understand exactly how these two teams pushed each other to the absolute limit. We're going to dissect the tactics, the wild mistakes, and the heroics that totally define this match.
So, moving into Section 1, the high-stakes matchup.
In a tournament where literally a single mistake sends you packing, the atmosphere is just incredibly tense. On one side, we've got Australia, a team totally known for their relentless physicality and resilience. And pitted against them, Egypt, bringing this fierce attacking flair and technical brilliance. In the knockout stages of a World Cup, this is a literal pressure cooker environment. Everything these players have worked for over 4 long years comes down to these 90 minutes.
And hey, if the basic survival instinct wasn't enough, just look at what was waiting at the finish line. The winner of this absolute battle was instantly scheduled to face either the legendary squad of Argentina or a highly motivated Cabo Verde in just 4 days' time. 4 days! The mental and physical toll of knowing a massive fixture like that is looming right around the corner. It just adds so much to the immense drama of this matchup.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer roller coaster we're about to explore together. From the opening kickoff to an early breakthrough header, followed by a frantic, and I mean frantic, equalizer, right up to the nail-biting full-time whistle. We're going to map out every critical juncture of this grueling journey.
Which brings us to Section 2, Egypt draws first blood.
Obviously, you can't win if you don't score, and in a tight knockout match, getting on the board early changes the whole shebang. So, I want you to think for a second about how a team actually unlocks a stubborn defense. How did Egypt manage to break through the Australian lines? It wasn't just a lucky bounce, not at all. It was a moment of precise, targeted execution that caught the defenders completely flat-footed.
The broadcast really captured it perfectly. "Oh, round the back came Ashore. It's a great header. It's a terrific header." Ashore managed to slip round the back, totally unchecked. He made this brilliant, deceptive run on the blind side of the defense to deliver a spectacular header. It was a moment of pure tactical class that instantly gave Egypt the critical initial lead, and honestly, it shook up the entire dynamic of the pitch.
And as any football fan knows, a goal often triggers an immediate surge of momentum. Right after Assure's opener, the tide heavily favored Egypt. Mo Salah immediately threatened to make it a 2-goal lead. Man, if that shot had gone in, the game might have been put to bed right then and there. But football, especially at the World Cup, rarely goes exactly to plan.
Moving right along to Section 3, Australia's chaotic equalizer.
Now, what's really interesting here is that when you're down a goal, sometimes you just have to abandon the beautiful game and force the issue. Let's break down the absolute chaos that unfolded in the penalty box. Australia clearly had a plan, right? Pump the ball toward towering targets like Harry Suter. But in the frantic scramble that ensued, it wasn't actually an Australian striker who found the back of the net. Number 3 was jumping in amid all the confusion, and the result? A dramatic, agonizing own goal. It was scrappy, it was chaotic, but hey, it put Australia right back into the game and leveled the score.
So we head into Section 4, deadlock at full time.
The final moments of regulation time were just a masterclass in tension, with the game hanging completely in the balance. Both teams were desperate, they were exhausted, and they were literally throwing everything they had left at each other. You could just feel the exhaustion on the pitch. The commentators summed it up in one breathless sequence. What a save, it is the full time, but it breaks Ashra. We go to penalties. A crucial late save kept the score locked at 1-1, but the physical toll was crushing. They specifically noted how the demanding pace seemingly broke Ashra. After all that, there was nothing left to separate them in open play.
Which brings us to the main event, Section 5, the penalty shootout.
There is simply nothing in sports quite like this. It's the most nerve-wracking phase of any football match for sure. The tactics? Gone. It's just one player, a goalkeeper, and a literal wall of pressure. Let's look at the final tally right up front. 4-2. Egypt ultimately conquered their nerves, holding their composure to triumph in the shootout.
But, the story isn't just in the final number. It's in how they systematically dismantled the pressure of the moment.
Let's move through this and see how the advantage was systematically built. First, Egypt confidently takes a 1-0 lead, which instantly shifts all the psychological burden right onto Australia. Then, the broadcast notes a strong personality stepping up, someone needing a strong kick, who instead delivers a brilliant, smooth kick to get the job done. It was an absolute clinic in emotional control. And finally, the stage was perfectly set for their talisman. Mo Salah steps up to the spot.
And here we are at Section 6. The Egyptian king secures victory.
This is the exact moment everything had been building toward since the opening whistle. When Mo Salah walked up to that penalty spot, he carried the hopes of an entire nation on his shoulders. He's known globally as the Egyptian king, and honestly, this moniker isn't just about his skill on the ball. It highlights his immense composure, his leadership, and his completely unique ability to thrive when the lights are at their absolute brightest. The broadcast famously asked, "Is he king from the spot?"
Well, the answer was a resounding yes, delivered through pure finesse. As the commentary noted, if you can't kick it hard, kick it like that. That's how you do it. Instead of relying on sheer brute power to just blast it past the keeper, Salah used masterful technique. It was a calculated, precise strike that stripped away all the panic of the moment and definitively secured the historic win for Egypt.
And with that single kick, the harsh reality of the knockout tournament set in. Egypt advances, flooded with relief and total elation. Meanwhile, a fiercely resilient Australia bows out, suffering the ultimate heartbreak of a penalty shootout exit. It's the brutal, beautiful reality of the World Cup summarized in just 2 simple sentences.
So, the crucial point we need to take away is this. Egypt didn't just win a game, they proved they can survive the ultimate psychological test of a penalty shootout. But, as we established right at the start, there's no time to rest. Will this hard-fought resilience be the exact spark that propels Egypt past a titan like Argentina or a hungry Cabo Verde in just 4 days? Well, only time will tell. But one thing is absolutely certain. They have the composure when it counts. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I seriously can't wait to see what happens next on the pitch.